Favorite Battle Book by Dr. Seuss. On the last day of summer, 10 hours before fall, my grandfather took me out to the wall. For a while he stood silent, then finally he said with a very sad shake of his very old head, "As you know, on this side of the wall we are IICS. On the far other side of this wall live the Zooks." Then my grandfather said, "It's a high time that you knew of the terribly horrible thing that Zooks do. In every Zook house and in every Zook town, every Zook eats his bread with the butter side down. But we IICS, as you know, when we breakfast or sup, we spread our bread," Grandpa said, "with the butter side up." "That's the right honest way," Grandpa gritted his teeth. "So you can't trust a Zook who spreads bread underneath. Every Zook must be watched. He has kinks in his soul. That's why, as a youth, I made watching my goal. Watching Zooks for the Zook Watching Border Patrol." In those days, of course, the wall wasn't so high. I could see any Zook square in the eye. If he dared to come close, I would give him a twitch with my tufted, prickly snickberry switch. For a while, that worked fine. All the Zooks stayed away, and our country was safe. Then, one terrible day, a very rude Zook by the name of Van Ich snuck up and slingshotted my snakeberry switch. With my broken off switch, with my head hung in shame, to the chief Yukaroo in the great sorrow I came. But our leader just smiled. He said, "You are not to blame, and those Zooks will be sorry they started this game. We'll dress you right in a fancier suit. We'll give you a fancier slingshot to shoot." And he ordered the boys in the back room to figure how to build some sort of triple sling jigger. With my triple sling jigger, I felt much bigger. I marched up to the wall with great vim and great vigor, right up to Van H with my hand on the trigger. "I'll have no more nonsense," I said with a frown, "from Zooks who eat bread with butter side down." Van H looked quite sickly. He ran off quiet and quickly. I'm unhappy to say he came back the next day with a spiffy new suit and a big new machine. He snarled and, as he said, looking frightfully mean, "You may fling those hard rocks with your triple sling jigger, but I also now have my hand on a trigger, my wonderful weapon, the jigger rock snatch him. We'll fling him right back just as quick as we'll catch him. We'll take no more gup from you IICS who eat bread with the butter side up." "I have failed, sir," I sobbed as I made my report to the chief Yukaroo in the headquarters fort. And he just laughed. "You've done nothing at all of the sort. Our slingshots have failed. That's old-fashioned stuff. Slingshots, dear boy, are not modern enough. We will need some new flying kind of gun. My boys in the back room will have already begun to think up a walloping whiz-zinger one. My bright boys are thinking. They're right on track. They'll think one up quick and we'll send you right back." They thought up a great one. They certainly did. They thought up of a gun called Kickapoo Kid, which they loaded with powerful poo-a-doo powder and ants' eggs and bee legs. They dry-fried clam chowder, and they carefully trained a real smart dog named Danielle to serve as our country's first gun-toting spaniel. Then Daniel, the Kickapoo Spaniel, and I marched back to the wall, with our heads held high up while everyone cheered. Their cheers filled the sky. "Fight! Fight for the butter side up, or die!" Well, we did do, and we didn't quite die, but we sure did get roasted. Danielle and Vanish was there too, and he said, "The old pig. The boys in my back room invented this rig called 18-nozzled elephant-totted boom blitz. It shoots high-explosive sour cherry stone pits and will put your dumb kickapoo kid in the fritz." Poor Danielle and I were scared out of our wits. Once more, by Vanish, I was bested and beat. Once again, I limped home from the wall in defeat. I drank my slag, and my spirits were low as I thought they never could go. When I heard a boom, bah, and a diddly-dee, and our butters-up band marched up over the hill. The chief Yuckaroo had sent them to me, along with the right side up song girls to greet me. They sang, "Oh, be faithful, believe in thy butter." They lifted my spirits right out of the gutter. "My boy," smiled the chief Yuckaroo, "we've just voted and made you a general. You've been promoted. Your pretty new uniform is ready. Get in it. The big war's coming. You're going to begin it. And what's more, this time you are certain to win. My boys in the back room have finally found how. Just wait till you see what they've put up now. In the great new machine, you will fly over the wall and clobber those buttered down zooks, one and all." Those boys in the back room sure knew how to putter. They made a thing called utterly splutter, and I jumped aboard with my heart all aflutter. I steered toward the land, upside down butter. This machine was so modern, so frightfully new, that no one knew quite exactly what it would do. But I had several faucets that sprinkled blue goo, which somehow would sprinkle the zooks as I flew, and the gum that upside down butter they chew. I was racing pell-mell when I heard a voice yell, "If you sprinkle zooks, you'll get sprinkled as well." Van Ich had a splutter exactly like mine, and he yelled, "My blue gooer is working just fine. And I am here to say that if Ukes can go goo zooks, then you'd better forget it, 'cause zooks can goo ukes." I flew right back home, and as you may have guessed, I was downright despondent, disturbed, and depressed. And I saw as soon as I stepped out back on the land, so all the girls of the butter-up band, the chief drum majorette, Ms. Zuki and Sue, said it was pretty sour flight that you flew, and Chief Yuckaroo has been looking for you. I raced to his office. The place was in sight. "I have no fears," said the chief. "Everything is all right. My bright backroom boys have been brighter than bright. They've thought of a gadget that's newer than new. It's filled with a mysterious mulakamu that can blow up all those zooks clear to Salamugu. They've invented the Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo. You just run to the wall like a nice little man, drop this bomb, and the ukes just as fast as you can. I have ordered all the ukes to stay safe underground while the Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo is around." As I raced off to the wall with the bomb in my hand, I noticed the very last ukes in our land was obeying to the chief's Yuckaroo grim command. They were bravely marching with banners aflutter down a hole for their country and right side up butter. That's when my grandfather found me. He grabbed me. He said, "You should be down that hole, but you're up here instead. But perhaps it's all for the better. Somehow you'll see me make history right here and right now." Grandpa leapt up the wall with a lopulous leap, and he cleared his throat with a blopulous beep. he screamed. "Here's the end of the terrible town full of zooks who eat their bread with the side down." At that very instant, we heard a clump, clump, clump of feet on the wall, and old Van Itch clumped up. The boys in his back room had made him one too. In his fist was another big boy boomeroo. "I'll blow you up," he yelled, "into pork and wee beans. I'll butter side up you to small smithereens." "Grandpa," I shouted, "be careful. Oh, gee, who's going to drop it? Will you or will he?" "Be patient," said Grandpa. We'll see, we'll see." The end.